Hello Summoners and Summonettes, Gordon here, and today's video is going to be a little bit different than the videos we normally do on the channel here. I've always loved vlogging. I watch a lot of vloggers on YouTube, and I've always wanted to try and dabble in it here and there, so I figured for today's video, let's change it up a little bit. I kind of had an epiphany this morning, and have a story that I think it could be pretty interesting for most of you, so without further ado, let's get right into it. League of Legends is the most played game in the world, yet the community is full of hidden gems out there waiting for you to go discover them. Let's take a trip back to one of the older days for my League of Legends career. I'm talking way back where items like Deathfire, Grasp, or DFG for short were still around, where you could literally one-shot squishies without even hitting any hard skill shots on them. Yes, of course, I'm talking about Season 3. So Season 3, this was the first season where I started my ridiculous climb. Technically, I finished Season 2 Gold, but this was where they had the ELO system still, where they had the top ELO and the current ELO. And my top ELO, I think, was 1512, which was Gold, but I finished 1498, 2 points away from Gold, so I still placed Silver. So I was super bummed about having a Silver border all of Season 3, but that's irrelevant. The main point here is this is where I climbed all the way to Diamond 1 in Season 3, and there was one player in particular who helped me immensely with that climb. And the player I'm talking about is Hi, I'm Joshy. And if any of you were high elo back in Season 3, odds are you knew this guy's name and what he was about. And more than likely you had bad experiences with this guy, because Season 3 was kind of a shit show in my opinion. Just a lot of crazy things were happening. There were a ton of flamers and trolls in solo queue that, would really get punished, and there were huge DDoS attacks. A lot of people were getting DDoSed and taken out almost every single game in high elo, and that happened a lot with me and my friend Hi, I'm Joshy, but we'll get more into that later. So I met Hi, I'm Joshy in Gold elo, and I remember doing with this guy, and at the time I actually wasn't a jungle main. I hated jungle. It was probably my worst role. I just didn't know what to do. I was a mid Evelyn main and Nidalee, and then when Thresh came out, I think that's when I decided I wanted to be a support main. And I'm just gonna float my own boat here and say that I was a pretty decent Thresh back in the day, unlike my last video. But I met Hi, I'm Joshy in solo queue. I was playing Thresh, and he was on his one of his 2 patented champions. He always played Rengar. He either played Rengar or Shyvana, 2 just crazy snowballing junglers back in the day. And he liked what he played with. I just made picks with him. So he added me. We started dueling together. We got Platinum together. And then eventually we hit Diamond together. But all this time while we were climbing, we were both being extremely toxic. And I'm not gonna try and beat around the bush. In Season 3, I think I got banned twice. I had a week ban and then a 2-week ban on my main account, and that's when I kind of reformed. I'm still, I'll still have those games every now and then, where I will freak out on a teammate. But when I had that 2-week ban, I knew if I got banned one more time, it was a permanent ban, and I was done. So I started trying to correct my mindset here. But Hi, I'm Joshy. He just did not care. He had multiple accounts. He would just go off on people, cussing 24/7 if they didn't listen to him. He would leave games if he wasn't winning. If he didn't get his cheesy kills early on, he would just straight up leave. I was honestly afraid that if I kept playing with him, I probably would revert back to my old habits and get myself banned as well. So luckily I caught a break, and one day Hi, I'm Joshy, he had way too many leaves, and he actually got that account permanently banned. And when that happened, I just cut it off, man, like it was an infection, and he just had to get rid of a limb that was infected. He got permanently banned. I removed him on Skype, I removed him on Facebook, I removed him on League, everything, and just prayed he did not screw with me. So the entire point of this is to kind of figure out who Hi, I'm Joshy was. And I really didn't think about it at all until this morning, where I was watching I'm a Cutie Pie stream, and he was duo queued with I Will Dominate, or Liquid Dominate. And Dominate's name was Hi, I'm Joshy, and I was like, whoa, I used to play with this kid back in the day, but there's no way it was Dominate, because I know the voices. I Skype called the person I dueled with every single day, and there's no way. And I knew he was a younger kid. He was around 15 years old when I played with him. This was 3.5 years ago. So I was pretty old. I was 18 and he was 15 and a half, but I was like, screw it, this kid's good. I'm going to keep playing with him. So I tweeted at Dominate, and I was like, there's no way you were "Hi, I'm Joshy" back in the day, were you? And one of my friends, Insanity, replied, and he goes, "Oh my god, you're kidding me, right? Hi, I'm Joshy used to be Liquid Dardoch," and it blew my mind. So I went back and I checked Twitter, and that's when it all just hit me. I checked Dardoch's Twitter, and his name is Joshua. So I started connecting dots here and here. His name's Joshua. He's about 18 years old. 3.5 years ago, that would make him 15.5 years old. And that's exactly when I was playing with someone named Hi, I'm Joshy, who was around 15 years old, and he was super toxic. So I guess the craziest thing to me is the fact that I played with Dardoch for around half of Season 3. We were duo queue partners, both being super toxic and whatnot, and I didn't really do anything to try and help the kid because I didn't care. We were winning, but he was just being so incredibly toxic, flaming every single game. And you know, it might have been a result of him getting benched initially on Team Liquid because of his, you know, poor communication with his teammates, being toxic and whatnot. So I kind of feel responsible for him getting benched in a sense. I feel like I could have tried to correct his wrongs 3.5 years ago, and maybe that never would have happened. So I guess I kind of I didn't create the monster, but I didn't do anything to try and bring the monster down and turn him back into a human again. So I don't know, it was just kind of a crazy revelation to me that all these things came together out of nowhere, and I was just like, whoa, I could have had the power to change something. So I guess what I want you guys to try and take away from this is, you don't have to go out there, try and preach, happiness and love everybody, but it's just crazy how you really never know who you're going to get matched up with in League of Legends and how you can impact their life potentially. So just don't take it for granted. It is a huge game, but you really never know who you can meet on the Rift.